Our case study is called Professionalism. Do we really need to teach it? The dilemma became apparent when the mentor received an email about his mentee from the university supervisor. The supervisor noticed that Dwight's lesson plans were being turned in late. He also noticed in his observation that Dwight was not dressed as professionally as possible. The supervisor reached out to the mentor for help in making sure Dwight is maintaining professional standards. The teacher had also noticed a lack of professionalism, but was not sure how to address the issues. There are three main issues: communication, deadlines, and boundaries. When the mentee sends an email, the tone is very casual. He addresses the teacher by his first name and does not use correct grammar. He also tends to text the mentor at all hours of the evening, asking questions about the next day's lessons, and regularly shows up to school late. The last concern is that he wants to be friends with his students instead of set professional boundaries. He dresses very casually and does not set himself apart as the teacher. Our key players include our mentor teacher, Michael Scott, our mentee, Dwight Schrute, and our university supervisor, Toby Flanderson. The mentee has been at a loss as to how to handle this situation. He does not want to sound critical, but now has to address these issues. The mentor tried to put himself in the mentee's shoes. However, he feels he did act professionally when he first started out. He wonders if the university is addressing these issues in class. He also is not sure how to address it without sounding critical of the person. He understands the mentee wants to be well-liked, but also needs to learn boundaries. The mentee is just excited to be there. He has always wanted to be the cool teacher. The university constantly stresses the importance of building relationships with students, so he is trying to be friendly and get on their level. He is also trying to stay connected to his mentor and wants to do a good job. He is struggling getting plans in because he has so much going on: school, student teaching, a job, a relationship. How does one do everything at once? The behavior of the mentee reflects on the university. I understand that juggling school and work is difficult for the mentee and that money is tight, but he needs to understand that the attendance and dress code policies of schools are rigid and inflexible. The university supervisor wants him to understand that while building relationships are important, the mentee also needs to understand the importance of maintaining appropriate distance. While detailed lesson plans won't always be required, the mentee needs to learn to meet expectations and prove he can effectively plan as a new teacher. Exhibit 1 is the Model Code of Ethics for educators. This might be one way to objectively discuss acceptable behavior and universal expectations for professionalism in education with the mentee. Exhibit 2, Signs of Professionalism in a Teacher. The article by Zeiger addresses a lot of the issues seen with the mentee in this case study and might be a way to encourage self-reflection of the mentee or initially approach the mentee about issues that have become problems. According to Feynman, Niemser, and Parker, in a mentoring relationship, experienced teachers are expected to explain school policies, regulations, and procedures, share methods, materials, and other resources, help solve problems in teaching and learning, provide professional and personal support, and guide the growth of the new teacher through reflection, collaboration, and shared inquiry. Mentors have the ability to shape and reshape the identities of their mentees. We have a responsibility to address all issues that arise as our mentees are learning to teach. Secrets 3 and 4 from Ross et al. Highlight the importance of teaching mentees procedures and helping them make professional decisions. The research presented by Wake and Bunn were the basis for some of the alternate viewpoints of the mentee and university supervisor presented at the beginning of our case study. The views of the teacher candidate can help us in understanding the point of view of the mentee, and the action steps listed for the faculty member can help us in developing ways to address issues that arise with the mentee. In keeping with the last source, our beliefs affect how we see the world and what we can and can't do in it. The mentor and mentee can help each other modify, strengthen, and release beliefs or actions that negatively affect their impact. And Radford provides a visual about the changes in approaches to mentoring. So in conclusion, some things to discuss. How do we define professionalism? At what point in a teacher's educational journey should professionalism be taught? And is professionalism a fluid concept to be interpreted by the mentor teacher, or should we give the mentee strict guidelines regarding what is expected of them?